We've got some
Hey, I'm Luis.
And
I'm Luis.
And you are listening to the Content is Profit podcast.
We spent the last 4 years learning the strategies and techniques from some of the top marketers in the world on how to create content that turns into profit.
If you'd like to learn more about how to turn your content into profit, go to contentisprofit.com.
All right.
What are we learning today?
Today, guys, we're going to talk about how we increase our revenue 6x our revenue, but not only from last year, but from the 4 previous years since we started our business.
Yes.
Right?
This was one of the elements that we dove in head first and has helped tremendously. I think we can still improve it a little bit more.
Well, I think we dove head first when we went all in on BIZBROS. But I think, and this is a warning for those that are listening, this is a topic that is often overlooked, is often learned at the very beginning of the entrepreneurial journey, but it is probably one of the concepts that people overlook the most. And then they go and they learn it and they say, I wish I would have paid attention a few years ago.
Yeah.
So,
all right, guys.
I think it's going to be a good one.
I love it. That was fire.
Yeah. By the way, the intro today, I think we nailed it.
We nailed it.
Yeah. For those that are listening, we do our intros live every single time. I don't know. I think it gets us in the mood.
Rolling.
Yeah.
So, if you're listening, please don't forget to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. Yeah. You can find us at BIZBROS on Instagram and Facebook. If you send us a DM there, we are happy to answer. We are actually taking like live Instagram calls today. We actually had one really cool one. So if you guys have anything to say about content, have any specific questions, feel free to send them there. And we're happy to do a live call on Instagram.
Yeah. If you want to support the BIZBROS and Content is Profit, all we ask for you is to just subscribe, leave us a review, and if possible, share it with everybody.
Love it. All right, we want to get started?
Let's do it.
Let's rolling. All right, Fonzi, so you actually came up with the topic today, right? So tell me, like, why is this so dear to you or to us?
So I think it's dear to everybody that's making that has a business because, well, first of all, I feel like people go into business to solve a problem, right? And I honestly don't know of anybody that has gone into a business to solve a problem of a person that they don't like, right? So this concept that we're going to be talking about today, it's about how can I do business in an enjoyable way because I'm working with the person that I want, right? But not only the person that I want, but the person that I'm working with, they want and they are craving to work with us as well, right? In this case, they're craving to work with you, the listener. So I'm actually gonna tell the story a little bit first on like how I heard this.
Yeah.
So when we started our business, right, 4 years back, I was reading .com secrets from Russell Brunson. At this point, we started our social media agency. Actually, did we start? No, I don't think we started our social media agency at this point yet, but we were educating ourselves in everything direct response marketing. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting on Panda Express, I was reading .com secrets, and my mind was blown away. I was like, dude, this book is so freaking cool. And I've always had in my mind when we were trying to build a business or businesses, t-shirts, stickers. I was like, how do we find the people that we want to sell this?
Yeah.
Right. And at the same time, it's like, I don't want to work with someone that is like annoying. That is the reason I'm not in a corporate job because I don't want to have a boss that's annoying. Right. So like, why am I going to go get clients that I don't like?
Yeah.
But that was always in my mind. Like, this is very, very confusing. And when reading .com secrets, I know this Russell Brunson didn't come up with this. He's mentioned it, but we learned it from Russell Brunson. And for those that don't know who Russell Brunson is, he is the founder, one of the co-founders of ClickFunnels.
Yep.
So in his book, he was talking about traffic temperatures. He was talking about cold traffic, that is people that have no idea about the problem and the solutions that you offer. The warm traffic, that is people that are aware of the problem but might not be aware of the solution. And then he talked about the hot traffic, right? That is the people that are aware of the problem and the solution. So technically, talking to the hot traffic, right? Those hot customers, those hot leads are going to be easier to close. And those are probably what are going to be your best shot when you're trying to acquire customers.
Yeah, and if you are listening, you're familiar with like sales or different terms, like this comes up very often, right? They talk about, cold calling, and that's the reason why there's like so much information around cold calling, because like it's a specific type of lead. It's people that are not really aware that you exist or that they have a problem, so that's why they call it cold. And then as they move up on the like range of awareness of the problem and your business, then they become hot. That's why if somebody calls you, that's considered hot. But we found out there's a fourth level.
Yeah, and
right?
I'm gonna get to that in a minute. So we actually, after reading that book, and I think a failed attempt of Be Wealthy, I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
We started a social media marketing agency, and we ran across another concept, which is a customer avatar, right? Everybody tells you need to envision the person that you're gonna sell to, what they like, the books they read, everything, right? And honestly, we did that exercise. We had our customer avatar, and again, we just throw it aside, and we're like, okay, well, we're gonna sell this. Well, let's try restaurants. So we started calling every single restaurant, meaning we were reaching out to cold audiences, maybe warm audiences that they knew they had a problem, but they weren't aware of the solution, and they didn't know we had the solution, right?
Yeah.
And at this point, we were literally I was sitting in my bedroom, which I was super proud to be in my home office at the moment. The other day I saw a picture on Instagram. I was like a 4 year ago memory. And it was me putting a story on Instagram like, oh, that laptop lifestyle. But honestly, I wasn't like doing anything.
Yeah, hashtag fail.
Yeah,
hashtag fake life.
Fake. So I was at my house just doing those calls, but I didn't really know who I was targeting. And when you don't really know who you're targeting, you get way more no's, and you get you get discouraged pretty quickly.
Yeah. Because I mean, think about it. Like if you have been either on the content game or selling something, right? I'm sure at some point you felt like you were talking to a wall, just because phone gets like hung up on you. Nobody pays attention to your message. Nobody pays attention to your content, right?
Yep.
And like Fonzie just said, like you can feel very discouraged to the point that a lot of people like close their businesses very quickly because of this reason.
Yeah. And so again, I'm going to resume the story. We go to the restaurants, and we actually close our first deal. Super exciting. I think I was shaking when I went to talk to the guy at the restaurant. I was super nervous. I actually stood up for that meeting.
You did?
Yeah, I actually wore
I don't remember that.
really nice clothes, because I was like, I need to give a good impression. I need to and
clearly
again,
look at him now. So if you guys are watching live or listening, go back to the video.
if you get to know me,
yes, I mean he takes naps on a hammock.
But
behind the office.
Again, and that goes down to not knowing who we want to work with, right? Because after a while we were like, dude, we don't want to work with people that is gonna judge us for the way we dress. We want them to give us an opportunity. As we talk, they're gonna see the value on what we have to offer. And
if you want to dress nice, that's awesome, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we don't
totally
have anything against that. That's part of our criteria. We don't want to work with someone that is gonna be closing their door to us just because we are dressed on a t-shirt, right? So whatever. I go to this guy's business, we close it, and I don't know. I think it was 6 months later. It was horrible. Working with this person, it was not good at all.
Just back up a little bit, right? I think when we were talking to them, there was a lot of convincing that we had to do.
So much convincing.
Instead of selling, which selling should be a frictionless process.
Yep.
This convincing took a while. We had to come with a lot of data, show him why he should be doing this, comparing different cases. And after a lot of no's, right, he finally said yes reluctantly.
Yeah, reluctantly. Yeah,
And the process on how he came on, even though it was amazing, it was like our first client, we were so excited. It was the most like we've ever charged in our lives at that point in time.
Yeah.
The process was very rocky.
Yeah, no, for
so
sure.
that started to dictate the relationship that we had with them. They
Yeah,
started to question everything that we were doing, right?
Yeah, I think it's Steve Larson, the one that says the way they come into your programs or services determines the way, you know, they're going to be as a client. So if it takes a lot of convincing, like that happened, the relationship probably is not going to be that good when you are fulfilling your services or when they are going through your programs. So I'm going to fast forward now 3-4 years. Our timelines are all messed up, but we actually started listening to Steve Larson, right? And I think this was the first time we heard this concept like that, in that way, where he talked about the fourth type of audience that my brother just mentioned a few minutes ago. Can you explain a little bit more, right? What is, and explain our experience and what happened when we got to know a little bit about that concept.
So with that concept, like that fourth level, for me was literally mind blowing, because I was coming from a sales environment with a very big company that has about 1,000 locations worldwide. I was right at the forefront of their sales process. I was managing a team of 14, 15 people. Continually, like the idea was to sell as many memberships as we could, like every day. Our staff had a call quota, so we're calling cold leads, warm leads, hot leads, like the whole traditional thing. And I remember that I was not familiar with this thing. I was like, okay, perfect. Is cold, warm, and hot, and that's it. And if they call like the first day, they're hot lead because they're interested. And even though that was beautiful on paper, as soon as we would call, like they will hang up on us, right? And I was like, but why? Like you just gave us your information, and I'm sure like you listening, like if you're in the sales environment, you probably can relate to this. But I remember seeing in that room, with my notebook, taking notes, like crazy, and then he goes, we have these people, which is the cold, and then we have the warm, and then we have the hot. Like who's lived that? And I'm like, I'm here raising my hand, all excited, taking my notes, and it's like, guess what? There's a fourth level, and I'm like, wait, what? The last 3 years that I've been working in sales, I've never run into this. Like, why? Yep. And then he goes, it's your dream level. And I'm like,
your dream customer.
Exactly, your dream customer. It's not it's a hot lead, is your dream.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? And immediately like go back to my notebook and write dream massive. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly exclamation point, gong sound. It's like, yeah, a moment of clarity. And so what does that mean? What is that? Your dream? And basically somebody that is problem aware, that knows you,
is solution aware. But the most important part,
that they got the money.
Not only they got the money, but they're spending the money.
Spending the money already
in a similar solution.
And they're frustrated.
They're buyers.
They're just frustrated with that solution. Mm-hmm. So then you can come in and collect them, right? So bringing it back, right, to the environment that I was in the fitness industry. And as many of you might know, that's a very competitive world, right? So, and I think this is one of my favorite stories to illustrate this thing, right? So our location was located in this kind of shopping mall style kind of deal. We had a lot of restaurants next to us, which was awesome because, well, awesome in theory, because we thought that people that will go to these restaurants, right, are eating like crazy, and that's it. That's all they did. And then they needed our solution because we were a fitness studio right there. So that this was coming from above. It's like, guys, you have to go to all these restaurants and create all this marketing and, be up there and set up a table and talk to these people right off the street, super cold, right? To bring them into a studio where they're going to work out and sweat and, go crazy, which, I mean, nothing against that. The workout was freaking amazing. I loved it, right? But there was a lot of foot traffic on certain days, on Thursdays, for example. And on Thursdays, these restaurants were serving dollar slices. So the thought process was like, look,
Yum, 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 yum.
yum, 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 yum. Yes, 100%. So this was the thought process. The thought process was, hey, if I'm paying $20 a lead, right, which is very expensive, I'm going to go sit down in front of the pizza place, and everybody that comes in, I'm going to tell them, look, I am going to buy you a $1 slice of pizza, which is $1. So I'm not paying 20 if you give me your information. So the pizza is on me if you give me your information, right? So I can later reach out to you so you can come in for a workout. So I'm paying $1 lead versus a $20 lead. Genius on paper, right? Guess what? The people that are coming to this restaurant are going to purchase a $1 slice. It's a very popular restaurant. It's a ton of foot traffic, but it's not definitely our dream customer because these are people that might not even be working out. So they're
just there for the food.
They're just there for the food, and that's okay, right? But their journey from wanting to work out to working out is a lot longer than somebody that goes and works out regularly in a different studio.
Yep.
That is frustrated with that studio.
Yeah.
So our marketing efforts are being wasted because the people would like, perfect, I'll give you my info, I'll eat my pizza for free, and then you're gonna spend the next 8 weeks trying to call me, and I'm gonna ignore your call because I don't want to work out.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
So
go ahead. Sorry.
Quick golden nugget here for gym owners. Run an ad on Facebook and place it on every gym location in your city. Talk about the pains that the people are feeling. Hey, are you not fulfilled with the current workout that you're doing? Hey, if this is you, come get your free class at my gym.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm sure you're going to hit a lot of people that are going to gyms and are very frustrated with their current situation, and they're looking for something different. And you are that different.
Yeah.
You are that solution to their problem.
So
All right, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, even with places, let's say, they pay a $10 membership, right? And then your membership is maybe 10 times more. So it's not like, is it smart, right? And you guys can tell me the answer. You can send me a DM what you think about this. But is it smart, me trying to convince somebody to spend 10 times more, or grab somebody from some place that charges similar but is frustrated, right? So it's super interesting, right? And you can apply this to basically every business, right? There's plenty to go around. Unfortunately, I hope that your business has such an amazing experience and such an amazing customer service that they're not angry at you. But you're always going to have some people that are going to be in the back of the pack.
I think it's a natural process.
It's a natural process. And just like you have that in your business, there's going to be people in other businesses that are going to be the same way. So I think it's a little bit smarter to find your dream customer, which is somebody, let's stay with the gym topic, right? Somebody that works out regularly.
Yep.
They have the money to pay for this membership.
Yep.
They want to work out. That's the other one, right?
They want to
work out, right? And they're frustrated with their current opportunity. So those are 5 things, right? You can add more filters, and then you can create your messages around that and then target. So we're gonna go to that in a little bit later. So hopefully I was able to explain it. And if you're live, comment like if it does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we just went through what we would call the secret number 1 of finding your dream client, right? We talk about them wanting, they are buyers already. They're spending the money. That means they want that solution, right? And one of the biggest problems is, especially business owners, is that they fall in love with what they offer. So then they see someone that they think that person needs it, and they try to convince that person to buy. And that's one of the biggest problems, because yes, even though that person might need it, they don't want it. And people don't buy because they just need it. They buy because they want it, right? Like why some people purchase, $80 wine bottles versus $5 wine bottles, right?
Yeah.
Is because they want the class of the $80 wine bottle, for example. So it is key to pretty much figure out who are the people that want my product. And again, going back to the gym, what a better way to find these people that are already working out and paying for it. Simple as that.
I mean, I'm going to ask you a question, you know,
Yeah.
for let's say a woman, right, that loves shoes, right? And is it easier for somebody that doesn't own a pair of shoes to sell a pair of shoes, or somebody that owns 20?
Way easier to someone that already owns 20, because you know they're buyers. They're constantly buying shoes. They're probably collecting them at this point. So if you're gonna sell it to someone that has no shoes, or let's say one pair, right? Someone that you know is super conservative, they're probably gonna give it some thought, and you're probably gonna have to do some convincing for them to buy it.
Yeah. So we actually have comments coming in on our live feed. So thank you so much for commenting. We're actually gonna dive in. We can actually dive into those questions right after we finish with the episode. We appreciate it. So if you have some time, we would love to actually answer these questions in our Facebook
Just
Live.
stick around, and then after the episode, we'll
100%.
stay live on Facebook and we'll answer all those questions.
Awesome. Thank you again for participating. And if you're listening, try to tune in Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. We actually record these episodes live, and we're happy to take on your questions. And don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, comment.
Continue, Fonzie.
Now we know that we need to sell to those people that want our solution, right? Not just needs it, but they want it.
They want it.
Right? And here I'm going to go to, I'll say, problem number 2 that a lot of people find themselves in. When we have businesses, we're like, yes, I'm going to sell to everybody. Everybody's my client. And it's like, no.
Nightmare.
And that was one of our problems. Where like,
Yeah.
we went into an industry where we're going to be a social media marketing agency for restaurants. That was, again, 4 years ago. And we started calling every single restaurant out there. And that is the
Every single
wrong
one.
approach. Like, we were just being like greedy at that point. We're like, oh, we want everybody's business. So I think it is important that we can accept that we cannot serve everyone, right? And that's actually gonna make our life easier. Because again, I'm gonna give the example of fast forward 4 years from that social media marketing agency, and we are back in today, and we finally discover, in part, I think we're constantly rediscovering.
There's always an improvement process.
An ongoing process. But now we are super clear of who we want to work with, right? Again, a few months ago, we decided to do content momentum, which is we're turning these macro pieces of content into the micro assets so people can share their message and turn their content into profit.
So just like, let's walk the listeners, right, and the audience.
Wait, give me one second. Hold that question right there, because I want to go. Where's the whip? Hold it right there.
All right.
So, because I want to go back to one of our clients, right, that we started working with, and at this point we're ready. We had the same offering that we have right now, but for one difference, right? We were doing the recording
For them, yeah.
We were bringing the cameras, every single
The whole
time.
production, yeah.
Like once a month or once every 2 months, we would have to pack everything, rent some cameras, go there a few hours early, set it up, tell them what to say.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like then you have to struggle with them not being comfortable in front of the camera, you having to coach them on what to say, their tones and their voice. And
I want to be clear, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's people that are really, really, really good that we know, that we adore, that do this kind of work.
Yeah.
But for us,
that was friction.
It was not worth the friction.
Yeah, totally. Again, exactly. Some people love doing this type of work.
Yeah, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, and
we're happy to refer them to you if you are interested.
Exactly. And we enjoyed it for a while.
It was
not
fun.
Gonna lie, but it got to a point where we're like, you know what? Like, maybe we don't want to do the recording. So again, we started asking ourselves, then who's that dream customer that we want to serve? If we don't, like, because now I don't want to go out there and sell content momentum and having to go and film all the content.
Yeah. Well, first off, I mean, at the time we didn't have the bandwidth to, let's say we onboard 10 new clients in 1 month. We do not have the bandwidth to operate at that level.
Yeah.
So that was a friction moment that was blocking our sales process.
Totally. Yeah. So, I mean, what did we do, right? Like,
yes.
Actually,
tell me more. Tell me.
actually, it's a fun story because
Tell me, FONZI.
we were asking ourselves the question, but it wasn't until we met someone at it was
Great Nate.
Monday Baby, right?
Monday Baby.
Monday
yeah.
Baby.
It's Monday Baby.
It wasn't until that event that it was like it became clear to us who our dream customer was, right? And
Yeah.
we were at Monday Baby, which is a Steve Larsen event right before Funnel Hacking Live. For those that are listening, Funnel Hacking Live is the yearly event of ClickFunnels.
The bomb.
It's amazing. If you haven't been, we totally recommend it. So we were in actually one of the breaks. I think we were going to get some coffee. We need that caffeine, and and we like on the space right next to where Monday Baby was being held. There was this guy that he was super smart because he knew who his dream customers are. So he set up an event space right next to the event space that we were in, and he actually created like a photo shoot studio, right? A photographer's studio. So everybody was like, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I need the cool pictures and whatnot. And they
For
would
my social media, for my profiles, for my ads, right?
And they would go there, and he was just talking straight to his dream customers. So I went there. I was talking to the lady that was at the front, just receiving people. And we just started sharing what we do. And in that, she said, oh, okay, cool. Let me call Nate, which is a photographer. And she calls him. We start talking.
Nate, if you're watching, man, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Or listening.
And we started talking with him. And I remember that he said, oh, cool. Well, I already record a podcast. Like, you guys wouldn't have to record it. So, like, how much would you charge me? And my brother and I, at that point, we look at each other and we're like,
that is a really good question.
yeah, that is a really good question. We haven't thought about that.
Our head did this.
Yeah. And then it's like, after we left that conversation, we look at each other and we were like, dude, I think we just found our dream customer. People that already have podcasts and they are recording their podcast because now we don't have to deal with any of the equipment, any of the coaching during the recording. They know the value of content upfront because they're already been producing it. And that was huge for us. And that was a huge transformation because now when we do our prospecting, right, that we're going to go call some people, we say, number one is like, okay, they need to be publishing and they need to be recording their podcast for a certain length of time.
And they need to be consistent. So they have to be publishing for a while now.
Exactly.
Because
and not only that, but they need to have micro assets as well.
That too. And they have to have a sales process. They have to sell something. So is all these like filters that we put into that at first it might sound as maybe negative because you're like, oh my God, I'm reducing my market so much more. But once you start actually going, there's plenty, for many. And if you find one of the indicators, like if you find competition in that market, it means that is needed, that product is needed, right? So how then can you differentiate yourself to attract that dream customer because it's there, right?
Yeah, that's true. And that differentiation topic.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a tough one.
That's a whole other thing,
That's
right?
a whole different topic.
Another
but
topic.
it's incredible. It's amazing, right? It's gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil that one. We can leave that one for another episode.
Yeah.
But now, okay, so we know we're selling to people that are buying and they want, right, the solution. We know now that we cannot serve everybody. Right, we
accepted that. Right,
you gotta accept that, right, and you gotta go for those very specific people. Again, you probably heard this: the riches are in the niches. So niche down as much as you can. Find that one person that want, and pretty much they check all the boxes of your requisites. And now that leads to number 3, right, which is a lot of people are like, well, but like, that person I'm trying to sell, like they tick off all the boxes, but they have no money to buy. Well, let us tell you something. Who wants to say this? Do you want to say it?
You go ahead, say it. You're owning this story today. I love it.
I'm gonna say it. If they don't have the money to purchase what you're offering, they are not your dream clients. Okay, like
they can go find another solution, right?
If they don't have the money, again, it goes back to number 1. They have to be already buyers. They gotta be purchasing something. So again, they are not your dream customers. It's as simple as that. That doesn't mean you can
still help them out.
You can still help them out, and they can follow your journey. You can nurture that lead for when they eventually get the money,
Yeah, look,
now they can become clients.
Exactly. It can be that, they might not have the money for X, Y, and Z. There's different reasons. They really, really want to work with you, right? But how can you help them then get that money so they can work with you, right? So hopefully, right, if you're selling something either high ticket or whatnot, we do have the Content Momentum program is a little bit of a higher ticket as a service, like kind of done for you, the content game. But if they're not there, how can we help them get there, right? So providing those solutions, help them out, building their relationship, providing tools, right, so they can get there. And that's totally okay because it's gonna build so much rapport, right?
Yep.
Like I remember having a conversation, same thing, one of those content conversations over Instagram, and this person's like all in, like they believe in content, they produce content, daily, they do this, they do that, and I think the one thing that was missing was the sales process at the end, because they had a lot of engagement and stuff, but they didn't have that clear, because once you put a machine like this to work, obviously you want to measure, right? Yeah. And one of the measures that we connected the initial marketing to the very end is with sales, and the money that comes in through that. So we have a company that does this strategy to sell houses, so that's their measure. Those are their KPIs, key performance indicators for those that don't know what a KPI is. But and that's okay. You can still help them out. Right?
Yeah, you can still help them out. Again, they're not your dream customer today. They're not your dream customer now, but they can be your dream customer in a month or 3, right? I mean, there's this analogy.
Or a year, right? Still, or 2 years.
I think it was Frank Kern, for those that are listening and don't know who Frank Kern is. He's like
Go check him out.
He's like the godfather of marketing. He's so cool. He's such a cool dude. But he has this ad where he has a bunch of like mints, and he drops some on the table, and he says, these ones right here, just like a little like handful, these ones right here are the ones that are ready to buy from you today. So those would represent the dream customer.
Yeah.
Then he grabs the rest of the bowl and he dumps it, and he says, these ones right here are the people that are ready to buy from you 3 to 6 months from now.
Yeah.
Right? So again, those are not your dream customers, but in 3 to 6 months, they can become your dream customers. And then he grabs a huge box and he just dumps it on the table, and he's like, and those over there are the ones that are ready to buy from you probably over a year from now, right? So that is to illustrate.
That was a massive gong moment.
That was a massive gong moment. And that is to illustrate that, like, yes, there's people that are ready to buy right now, but they're the minority. So also do not, relegate the other people. I don't know if that's the right word, but like, don't forget about the other ones. Like, still nurture them and keep them in your pipeline.
Yeah. So I want to circle back, because we have like 2 or 3 minutes left here in this episode, on how can you relate your content to this, right? So obviously your marketing, your content, all your strategy is the beginning, right, of that sale. Yep. So if you want to sell to your dream customer, then you have to communicate to your dream customer. So once you've decided who that person is with all those filters, you have to craft your message in a way that you're talking directly to that person that's ready to buy today.
Yep.
Right. So for example, if I'm selling, right, if I'm talking and creating content to that podcaster that records video, to that content creator that has long form content, that it wants to create assets to distribute in their social media, I'm going to be talking to somebody that's doing that today. Not like, hey, if you are thinking on doing this, we are your solution. No, because then they're further away from that optimal place that I want them to be, because then I'm going to have to teach them different things. And again, nothing wrong with that, but that is not our business model. So go back, look at your business, look at how you're communicating, what's the message that you're putting out there. Yep. And if it's not the right message to your dream customer, then go back and redesign your dream customer. Who's that person that you would love to work with?
Or maybe you already have your dream customer within your business, so you can ask them questions.
Exactly.
Right? You can ask them and dig deep and see what is it that they love about your business. Like, what problem are you solving for them, right?
Yeah.
What pain are you taking away from their life? And that's the message you're going to put out there to attract more people like that one that you already have in your business.
So I want to leave you guys with one question.
Wait, before you do the question, I'm going to do a 30-second recap of what we went through, so everybody has it in their minds, right? We went through the types of traffic, right?
Type
And
of traffic.
clients, which is cold, warm, hot, and the new one, the dream clients. Now, we are the dream client. They want your solution.
Yeah.
You don't think they need it. They want it. Now, we're not operating from a place of need, and we are trying to serve everybody.
Yep.
We are, kind of like segmentating the people, and we know exactly who we're talking about with a very specific set of characteristics. And the last one is that if they don't have the money to buy from you now,
They might not be your dream customer.
they might not be your dream customers, and it's okay. 'Cause
Awesome.
They can become your dream
So
customers.
the big question is like, how did you find them, right? And I'm gonna ask you a question that might help you solve that, because every time that we've consulted, every time that we worked with different businesses, this is the question that goes, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? But before I do that, I want you guys to subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. Follow us in social media at BIZBROS Go. We're happy to share any questions, any answers of all the marketing and content secrets that you want to know. And please share it with people. Share it with fellow business owners that you feel like they need this, right? Again,
if you know someone that's stuck finding their dream client, right? Like, send them the episode.
Send them the episode. So again, smash that subscribe button. And now I'm going to ask you the question. The question is, who is that person that you can get success for them or result for them the fastest with the least friction possible? Who is the person that you can get results the fastest with the least friction possible? All right, guys, I think we're done here.
I think we're done.
Thank you so much. Facebook people, stay because we're about to answer all those questions live. And with that being said,
we're out of here.
We're out of here, guys.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Again, if you want to support us, share this podcast with everybody. Give us a 5-star review and subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
We love
See ya.
you and happy. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah. Bye.